Thank you for joining us to learn more about Preschool for All. I'm Leslie Barnes. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the Preschool and Early Learning Division Director at Multnomah County. My colleague, Brooke Chilton-Timmons, will join us later in the presentation. This presentation is designed for childcare providers who would like to learn more about how to participate in Preschool for All. We have two different ways for providers to participate that we will share details about with you today: the Pathways Program and pilot project sites. Before we go into the details, I want to start by recognizing the contributions that child providers have made to our community during the pandemic by helping families work and supporting our youngest community members by providing safe and loving environments for them. We appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. Preschool for All was a Multnomah County ballot measure passed in November of 2020 with 64% of voters saying yes. Paid for by the highest income earners who live or work in Multnomah County. There was a community process to develop the plan that took over 2 years with over 100 people working on the project. Preschool for All will provide free and voluntary preschool for all 3 and 4-year-olds who have a parent or guardian living in Multnomah County. It will take about 10 years for Preschool for All to provide universal access to all of those children. As we are increasing the number of available slots, children who have the least access now to high-quality preschool will be prioritized. Black, Indigenous, and all children of color, children who speak diverse languages at home, children whose family live under the self-sufficiency standard, children who have developmental delays and disabilities, children in foster care, and others. PFA is a mixed delivery model that allows families to choose the type of program that is right for them. Preschool for All setting types include in-home, centers, school districts, and multi-general preschool-like programs. Preschool for All has an intentional implementation timeline with the number of slots growing over time. PFA builds on publicly funded preschool. It is not replacing Head Start or Preschool Promise. Providers can have multiple funding streams. One provider can be a Preschool Promise and a Preschool for All program, for example. There are no slots this first year. We will use this time to get ready. The first Preschool for All slots start in September of 2022 with 500 to 1,000 slots. The next year, it grows to 1,500 to 2,000 slots. The number of children and the number of providers grows over time. Now we are going to share the 2 main ways that providers can participate in PFA during early implementation. But you can also wait to participate if that's the right decision for your business. There are 2 ways to be involved. During the first 3 years of Preschool for All, there are 2 ways to participate: the Pathways Program and pilot project sites. The Pathways Program partners with providers to get ready for PFA slots. Each provider has different strengths and areas where they can grow. It's called Pathways because there isn't just one way to prepare. It's individualized to each provider. The amount of time that a provider spends in the Pathways program may also be different. It may be a few months or even a couple of years. Pilot project sites have contracted slots. First slots in September of 2022. Providers must meet the pilot site requirements, which we will go through soon. Pilot sites will help PFA learn and finalize program details. We don't yet have all of the answers and want to partner closely with providers. Next, we are going to walk you through each of the programs in more detail. Pathways Program. Providers will have access to multiple types of supports, including coaching, peer networks, business development supports, social, emotional, behavioral supports, system navigation, financial incentives, professional development opportunities. Pathways providers will work with a coach to develop an individual plan that is focused on the goals that you have for your business. We are looking for providers open to feedback and new ideas who want to learn and grow together. As a brand new program, we are going to be learning too. Step 1, applications will be available at the end of August, and you can apply at any time. There's no deadline. It is not a competitive process. We are looking for complete applications. Step 2, after your application is complete, you will be sent a self-assessment for your program. The self-assessment is a chance for you to think about the strengths of your program and things you'd like to improve upon. When you send in your self-assessment, you will be assigned a coach. Schedule a time for your first coaching session and receive a payment of $500. Step 3, work together with the coach to develop a plan. When you complete the first step on the plan, you will receive a payment of $1,000 to help you keep making progress on your plan. Step 4, keep working on your plan and meet regularly with the coach. The overall plan will move you closer to meeting your goals and possibly having preschool for all slots.
Hello, my name is Brooke Chilton-Timmons. I use she, her pronouns, and I work in the Preschool and Early Learning Division at Multnomah County. Today, I'm going to walk you through some of the pilot project site details. What you'll see in this slide is that the pilot project sites have the same supports as pathway program providers. They have access to peer networks, business development supports, social emotional behavioral supports, individualized coaching, and professional development opportunities. What's different about the two programs is that pilot sites also have contracts for Preschool for All slots, and they'll receive funding for startup costs. The contracts for Preschool for All slots depend on the type of setting that each provider is in. So we ask for a minimum number of slots by provider type. So in-home providers are asked to apply for a minimum of 4 Preschool for All slots. Center providers are asked to apply for a minimum of 10 Preschool for All slots, with 5 slots per classroom. In the pilot project, Preschool for All will be primarily focused on the 2 schedules that we hear are most important to parents right now. A school year school day schedule, and we expect the reimbursement for those schedules to be $13,000 to $15,000 per child per year, and a year-round working day schedule. And we expect the slot reimbursement for those slots to be $18,000 to $21,000 per child per year. The difference in that range is because different providers offer different supports. So some providers may offer families transportation, and they would receive a higher reimbursement than providers who don't offer transportation. It's important to know that Preschool for All will be matching families with providers. So providers will not have the opportunity to choose which children will receive those Preschool for All slots. We do want to work with pilot project sites who will help us think about continuity of care. For some providers, you may already be serving our priority populations, and we want to be sure that those children can stay in your care as they get older. Pilot sites agree to retain children in their care, so there are no suspensions or expulsions allowed in Preschool for All. We understand that there are going to be needed supports, and we're interested in having deeper conversations with providers we're working with to ensure that all children can be successful in their Preschool for All placements. We're looking for providers who are ready to learn and grow, to be flexible. We're going to be learning and growing as we start this new program, and we want to learn and grow together. We're also very interested in working with providers who offer infant and toddler care, who offer alternate care hours for families, and who currently serve Preschool for All's priority populations. As providers are considering whether or not to apply for pilot project sites, it's important to understand these requirements. So providers need to be licensed. They also need to meet our minimum education or step levels in the Oregon Registry Online. So a provider needs to be at step 7 in ORO and commit to reaching a step 7.5 within 2 years of starting to participate in Preschool for All. Pilot sites also need to be ready to partner with a coach and to make changes to their program. And this is a collaborative relationship, like Leslie talked about. This isn't a coach telling a provider what to do. This is about working together to help a program be at its best. We also have some requirements around quality. Providers need to be using a curriculum that's aligned to the Oregon Early Learning and Kindergarten standards. They need to be committed to racial equity work and to providing culturally responsive care for Black, Indigenous, and families of color. Providers who want to apply for the pilot project sites also need to be using inclusive teaching and learning strategies and supporting children who have disabilities and developmental delays. And we're looking for pilot sites that offer family engagement activities and opportunities to connect families with their children's learning in preschool. Once the pilot sites are selected, they will participate in trainings and ongoing coaching. We're asking that they fully include children with disabilities, that pilot sites work hard to create an environment of safety, trust, and belonging for all families in their care. They'll need to meet our insurance guidelines in order to participate in Preschool for All. We also have minimum staff wages, and we're asking that providers also give benefits to their staff. Providers in the pilot sites will be completing screenings and assessments to support children's growth and development. They'll also be collecting and reporting data in the new Preschool for All system. One of the things that we think is so important for you to know about Preschool for All is that there's different ways to be engaged. Each provider can choose the timeline that's right for them and right for your business. So providers who are ready to learn and grow and want to prepare for Preschool for All slots can apply to the Pathways program. And that application will be available at the end of August. And that application does not have a specific deadline. So providers could apply in August or in September, or even wait later until December or next February. So really thinking about when's the right time for me to be engaged. Those sites, those providers who already meet our requirements for pilot sites can choose to apply to be a pilot project site. That application will be available this fall and every year through the fall of 2023. For some providers, that might not be the right choice either. You might want to know all the details and wait till the program has been refined and finalized. That's okay too. So for providers who want to wait for those future slots, you can apply in fall of 2024 and still participate. Please remember that we're building a universal preschool program over 10 years. And so there's time for you to consider when is the right time for me as in my business to get engaged. So I want to walk you through this last slide around our timeline. We've been working hard on implementation planning since the election. And we're coming up here to the Pathways program application being open this summer. And then we will have those applications open for pilot sites this fall. Families will start to apply for Preschool for All slots in early 2022. We'll match families with preschool providers in those pilot sites in spring of 2022. And the first Preschool for All slots will open in September of 2022 with children on carpets. Thank you so much for sitting through our presentation today. If you have questions, we encourage you to go to our website to learn more. You can also email us anytime at preschoolforall@multco.us, and we'll do our best to answer your questions. Have a great day.